Hi everybody, David Paul with you in the KHOU 11 Weather Center, your tropical update here for August 16th, Wednesday. As far as the Gulf of Mexico is concerned, we are still tracking the possibility of development in the Gulf as we go into early next week. We think this could bring beneficial rain to the Texas, Louisiana, maybe Mexico coastline. Still some question marks being this far out, but we'll take a close look at that. And we are going to look at a couple other spots out in the open Atlantic. And we're going to look at this Pacific hurricane that has a chance to threaten Southern California over the weekend and early next week, with the potential for wind and heavy rain. So there's a lot going on in the tropics. On the Atlantic side, there's the spot on the Gulf of Mexico. Nothing here yet, but this is the spot outlined that next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, could see tropical development. You see a couple of spots out in the open Atlantic. We'll get to those in a second. That is our brewing tropical storm in the Pacific that is forecast to become a hurricane. This is the one that could impact Southern California. We'll get to that in just a second. Out in the open Atlantic, we've got a couple of spots. A wave here, a wave here. This one has a 40% chance for development. This one has a 50% chance for development. Models are moderately aggressive in developing one or both of these over the next several days. We'll keep an eye on it, but even if they develop, it looks like they're meant for the open ocean and are not forecast to threaten the United States or any landmass, at least for the next several days. So they're on the back burner right now. On the front burner is what's going on in the Gulf. Well, technically at the moment, there's nothing going on in the Gulf, but within 7 days, and specifically next Monday, Tuesday, there's a 20% chance that we could see development here. Now, the wave that will make this development possible is still in the process of forming, but by Friday of this week, August 18th, the wave will be right here. See the winds coming up and arcing over? That's the wave at the surface over the open Atlantic and over the Bahamas. And the orange color represent deep tropical moisture. So we're expecting some breezy conditions and rainy conditions over the Bahamas, Cuba, and Florida as we head into Friday and Saturday as it moves across the Florida Straits and into the eastern Gulf of Mexico on Monday. So by Monday, August 21st, here's the wave. And at this point, you can see it's a little better defined, but still an open wave. In other words, the winds go up, over, but they don't come back around and close off a low. So again, that defines it still as a tropical wave, not a tropical depression. Will it eventually close off? It may or may not. I think even if it does, it will only have a few moments to strengthen, and most likely it stays an open wave. That's what the models are depicting this evening, with the open wave coming into the upper Texas and Louisiana coast. Now, this is the European model we're looking at, and this brings a slug of moisture into southeast Texas and Louisiana and the central Texas coast on Tuesday night and Wednesday. This would be the best outcome for bringing rain to Houston and eventually perhaps into central Texas going into Wednesday. And so Texas kind of licking its chops, hoping we get the beneficial rain without anything serious tropical developing. And at the moment, that appears to be the most likely outcome. But clearly it's something we'll be watching very, very carefully. Here's future radar with the rain associated with this wave on Monday in the eastern Gulf. Then it moves across, rain in Louisiana, rain in southeast Texas Tuesday and Wednesday, and then moving more rain into central and north central Texas Wednesday evening. That's the European outcome. We'll keep a closer eye on this as we go into the weekend and get a better eye on how much rain is going to fall. Now, it's too early to bullseye who's going to get most of the rain. In fact, yesterday we had a couple of runs where the bulk of the rain was in deep South Texas and the upper Texas coast and Houston didn't get much rain. Today, the Euro brings the rain back to southeast Texas. It's going to be a bit of a moving target. These computer models really need to get closer to the outcome here. We need to get closer to next Wednesday to really be able to say who is going to get the heaviest rain. But take this with a grain of salt. There is a possibility that a big chunk of Texas, maybe also Louisiana, could get some much needed rainfall as we head into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Now to Tropical Storm Hillary. This is the Pacific storm off the coast of Acapulco, off the coast of Mexico. There's Mexico, there's San Salvador, there's the tip of the Baja, and there's our system, which has gotten much better organized during the day today. A maximum sustained winds now at 40 miles an hour, but this one is forecast to become a Cat 1, Cat 2 hurricane as we head through the weekend. And then going into Sunday night and Monday, The track takes it right up the west coast and into Los Angeles and Southern California Sunday night into Monday as a 45-mile-an-hour tropical storm. So it will be weakening from its hurricane status, but it will be moving rapidly north. So we could easily see gusts here to 40, 50, 60 miles an hour in Southern California Sunday night into Monday. And these systems are also notorious rainmakers. Now, it will be moving quickly, and that may moderate exactly how much rain you get in Southern California, but the potential is there for very heavy rain in the foothills above LA. That could lead to mudslides and flash flooding, as it's a severe threat there when they get heavy rain, and further up the coast could see more heavy rain as well. So that's what they're looking at. As far as Texas, the Gulf of Mexico, here's what we're looking at. A slight chance for development early next week. Could bring much needed rainfall. We're hoping for that outcome. There is always a degree of uncertainty in the tropical forecast. Sometimes the atmosphere just decides to underperform. Sometimes it decides it's going to overperform. So I would urge everyone to stay close to us. Watch the weather at least once a day through the end of the week, through the weekend, and especially into the start of next week, so nobody gets caught off guard in case something stronger decides to develop out in the Gulf.